Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we have from Joey Valence Brae, HYPERYOUTH. Look, I'm surprised it's taken me this long to talk about this duo, especially after seeing them live at Osheaga this past year. Coming off of Punk Tactics, they were a decent enough Beastie Boys clone with some modern flair in the samples and wordplay, but 2024's No Hands fused their sound with more eclectic electronic elements and breakbeats and won them a lot of critical acclaim, even if their, let's call it, limitations as lyricists kind of held them back from me. It's a cool gimmick, I saw it work live, I just don't find them as magnetic or fun as everyone else did. I'll repeat, I'm used to having my bangers have a little bit more substance. That is something that can happen. And when the buzz was suggesting that they were diversifying their sound for bigger stages with HYPERYOUTH after signing to RCA, look, it probably had to happen, but I was concerned if they had the range to actually pull it off. And, well, then I remembered that Brockhampton released Iridescence on RCA in 2018, a rap group riding internet hype on the cusp of crossover, testing the boundaries to expand and deepen their sound, lingering questions whether there be turmoil in doing so when they don't sound like they're having fun anymore. I mean, it doesn't have to be a bad idea or a bad sign. Iridescence is great, but it feels like one with HYPERYOUTH, which highlights just how stark this duo's limitations are. For one, I mean, call it just party music all you want. Even by throwback rap standards, the flows and punchlines are rudimentary and the content is basic as all hell. Braggadocious dance floor pump-up jams like the oily electro clash of The Party Song, or the bombastic hip house of Go Hard, or a banger like the title track, or you get vague musings on the horn-touched Party's Over, or the buzzy early 2010s riff of Live Right on Not Wanting to Grow Up, feeling caught between innocent, childlike fun on the dance floor and a more mature reality. And boy, you can tell they're better equipped for the former, because otherwise their energy just evaporates and you can't ignore how stilted and awkward they sound with any sort of adult introspection, especially when they mention women. For the contrast, JPEGMAFIA matches the full force aggro delivery on WASSUP, probably the best song on the album, but Rebecca Black and Tia Koren sound like they're from a different universe than these guys. And the best the boys can muster are brang mid-2000s crunk throwbacks. Bust Down sounds like a fusion of Tipsy and Hot in Her. See You Dance, it's a Timbaland riff, where, look, they barely sound mature enough to drink at or even get into the club. The Dead-Eyed Is This Love in particular, it's just embarrassing watching these guys try to court women. Now, some of that is to be expected. They weren't exactly coming in overflowing with dignity or flair, but listening to them try to cosplay as cool reminds me of the era when I first started going to the club in the late 2000s, an era of dance music that they repeatedly reference while ignoring that they were in grade school at the time. And look, I didn't really know how to hold myself then. I kind of hear a lot of that now. I appreciate the enthusiasm to think it's all way cooler than it is, but normally there's some insight or better humor to back that up, and I just don't think Joey Valence and Brae really deliver. It's not helped by the production, where on every pummeling dance floor banger, the mixes sound weirdly sterile and metallic around the hazy or oily synth buzz, and the bass and clanking percussion constantly clipping over the vocal line, but also on a longer runtime with more watery R&B samples, the momentum starts flagging, especially when cuts like Billie Jean are painfully stiff and oversold. The best it works is off the liberal Bobby Cantrell single on the post-breakup song Have to Cry, but didn't Flo Rida do this way better with I Cry in 2012? Wasn't exactly lyrical there either. And when I heard the big Disco Tomorrow all set up for the fans, where they're trying to keep the party going on forever with a slightly somber acknowledgement that maybe they can't, look, I really wanted to buy into that earnest pathos, but the messy tonal whiplash, which might be accurate to the teenage male experience, but it's delivered so clumsily, it just didn't land. In short, look, I don't want to be the killjoy that says that Joey Valence and Brae have a limited shelf life. For all intents and purposes, if they keep flipping the production and find a way to keep the festival crowd hollering, they are set for life. but I also heard the majority of attempts to get a little bit more serious or introspective here, expand their sound, not only landing awkwardly, but feeling really undercooked for the trouble. And one thing that tends to get ignored with the Beastie Boys is that the frat energy kind of died off pretty fast after License to Ill. They were always goofy and quirky, but they had a sense of texture and place, a punchy stability that Joey Valence Brae don't really seem to have. And while they've cited a lot of label freedom with their new contract with RCA, I also have a long list of acts who have been mishandled by that label in the past 15 years, including in hip-hop, and some of the change-ups lingering here are a bad sign. As for this, I can probably accept they would never be for me. The childlike basic exuberance and much of the lyrical content and structure has them feeling very niche, but even by that standard, it's less fun, and I think the cracks are showing. If you're curious, have fun, but otherwise, look, I'm not sure it's there. All I'll say. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to see more, please be sure to like, share, drop comments, subscribe. I've been getting a lot of asked to talk about Joey Valence Brae for a while, and again, I did see them live. Got to admit, they didn't fully click for me when I saw them live. That was a bit of a disappointment. But again, hearing them here, man, I don't know. I really wanted to like this, and I'm just not sure it's getting there. It happens, but again, if there's issues with RCA in the future, I will not be surprised. I don't wish that for them, but again, I know history. But beyond that, if you have any comments, leave them down there below. Anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. And if you all want to get involved in helping support the channel, get albums like this on my schedule, or just yell at me on my Discord, link to my Patreon and YouTube memberships is right over there. Once again, don't feel obligated. Tough times, I understand. The option's available. Till then, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.